Good morning, children. Welcome back to your chemistry class. So today in this chapter of surface chemistry, we are going to talk about catalysis. Now, what is catalysis? So understand the definition. I'll write it for you over here. So the rate of chemical reaction that can be increased or decreased by addition of a suitable substance which itself is not consumed during the reaction. So such substances, they are called as catalysts, and the phenomenon is termed as catalysis. Okay. So what is catalysis? As I told you, the rate of a chemical reaction can be altered. Altered means increased or decreased by the addition of a suitable substance which itself is not consumed during the reaction. Okay, they are termed as catalysts. They are termed as catalyst, and the phenomenon is called catalysis, right? So there are actually two types of catalyst. Depending upon their nature, we can say that they are of two types. What are they? One is your positive catalyst and one is your negative catalyst. Clear? So now what is a positive catalyst? The positive catalysts, they always enhance the rate of reaction. They enhance the rate of reaction. Okay, then they are termed as positive catalyst. For example, let's recollect certain examples like KClO3. When it is heated in the presence of manganese dioxide, it gives us KCl plus O2. So over here MnO2, it acts as a positive catalyst. More examples, if you remember, SO2 plus O2. Do you remember the oxidation of sulfur dioxide with the help of vanadium pentoxide giving us sulfur trioxide? This is also your vanadium pentoxide is also your positive catalyst. Another example, if you remember Haber's process, N2 plus H2, that is to this. What is the catalyst used over here? Platinum. If it is used, then this is again your positive catalyst, forming two volumes of ammonia. Or iron, if we use, that also acts as a positive catalyst. Okay. Then another example could be chlorophyll in plants. What do? They enhance the rate of photosynthesis. So that is also chloroform is also your positive catalyst. Now let us talk about negative catalysts. Okay. So when the catalyst, it reduces the rate of reaction, they are termed as negative catalyst. They reduce the rate of reaction, right? Then they are termed as negative catalyst. So some of the examples, let's check over here, like oxidation of chloroform from air in the presence of ethyl alcohol. So over here, ethyl alcohol, it acts like a negative catalyst. So CHCl3, when treated with oxygen, it forms phosgene, that is COCl2 plus HCl. So this is your negative catalyst over here. Your ethyl alcohol acts as a negative catalyst. Another example, if we take the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide, right, that is H2O2 in the presence of glycerine. What does it give? It gives us water plus oxygen. Okay. Another example, if you remember, hydrogen peroxide with phosphoric acid also gives us water plus O2. Clear? So these ethyl alcohol, glycerine or phosphoric acid, what are they? These are called as negative catalysts, right? So the substances which enhances, sometimes we take certain substances which enhances the efficiency of the catalyst. What are they termed as? They are termed as promoters. What are they called as? Promoters. So if you remember in Haber's process over here, where though I have used platinum, if you remember we also use iron. So what is the promoter used over here? Molybdenum is the promoter generally used, right? So what is the work of the molybdenum? It enhances the efficiency of the catalyst. Clear? Then there are certain substances which retard the efficiency of the catalyst. See, promoters, they enhance the efficiency of the catalyst. There are certain substances which even retard the efficiency of the catalyst. And what are they called as then? They are termed as poisons. What are they termed as? Poisons. Okay. Now let us talk about some types of catalysis. So depending upon the physical states of the reactants and the catalyst, the catalysis, they can be again classified under two headings. What are they? The homogeneous catalysis and the heterogeneous catalysis. Okay, so let's talk about what are homogeneous catalysis. So the homogeneous catalysts, they are those catalysts which are present in the same phase as the reactants. Okay, so what did I say? The catalysts which are present in the same state or phase as the reactants. Okay, so if suppose your reactant is solid, then your catalyst will also be solid. If your reactants are gases, then your catalyst will also be a gas. So such kind of catalysts are called as homogeneous catalysts. Let's take some example of homogeneous catalysts, like ester. If you take, let's take some example like COC2H5. This is your ester, correct? Hydrolysis takes place in the presence of an acid HCl over here, right? In the presence of water, hydrolysis takes place. What did I say? When they are in the liquid state, your catalyst is also in the liquid state. That is, I am using the acid which is in its aqueous form. And what is it going to form? It will form acetic acid which is aqueous in nature, plus C2H5OH. This is also aqueous. So this is your acetic acid formed and this is your ethanol is formed, right? So what do we see over here? That they all are in the same phase. So this phenomenon will be termed as your homogeneous catalysis. Right? Now let's talk about heterogeneous catalysis. Right? So catalysis which do not match the same phase as the reactants. So catalysts that does not match the same phase as the reactants. Okay, then in this case, if the reactants are in the solid state, okay, or solid phase, then the catalyst can be in its gaseous state. If your reactant is in the gaseous state, then maybe your catalyst is in the liquid state. So over here, catalyst does not match the same phase as the reactants. Okay, let's take some examples here also. Example could be like sulfur dioxide with oxygen. Now this is also a gas, this is also a gas, and what are we using here? V2O5, which is your solid, and this gives us 2 volumes of sulfur trioxide. So over here this shows a heterogeneous catalysis. Why? Because the catalyst which is used over here does not match the same phase of the reactants. The reactants are in the gaseous state, whereas this is in the solid state. Okay. Similarly, you can take one more example like nitrogen, which is a gas, when combines with hydrogen, which is also a gas, and this is going to give us ammonia, which is also your gas. So we are using iron. Iron is what? In the form of solid. So over here the catalyst does not match the phase of the reactants which are in their gaseous state. I hope homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysis is very clear to you. Now I am going to discuss the mechanism that takes place, mechanism of heterogeneous catalysis. Okay, so mechanism for heterogeneous catalysis. So what are the 5 steps of it? The first is diffusion of the molecules on the surface takes place. Okay, so you can understand it like this. Suppose this is a platform where we have vanadium pentoxide. So over here your SO2 gas and your oxygen gas comes here. So this is what the first step, that is the diffusion of the molecules which takes place at the surface, right? Then your second step happens what? Adsorption takes place. Adsorption on the surface takes place. So how do we understand adsorption on the surface? I mean to say, suppose this is the platform, so adsorption will take place over here. Here it is going to form what? SO3. So this is your second step. This was your first step. This is your second step. Then the third step is the formation of the product. Products are formed next. So formation of the product. Now what is this? The formation of the product is taking place. This is your third step. First step was diffusion of the molecules on the surface taking place. Then adsorption took place. When adsorption took place, what was formed? Sulfur trioxide was formed over here, right? Now the fourth point, that is desorption of the product will take place, right? So desorption means over here. Let me write down. So this is what desorption will take place over here. That is the fourth step happens over here. It will come out, right? Desorption of the product takes place. And the fifth method is diffusion back. So what do we mean over here? This will go diffusion back. Okay, so this shows your diffusion back. That is your fifth step. So can you see all the steps of heterogeneous catalysis over here? First, the diffusion of the molecule takes place on the surface. Then adsorption will take place. The product will be formed, and then desorption. It comes out. The product comes out. Desorption takes place, and finally diffusion back into the air takes place. So this was the mechanism for the heterogeneous catalysis. Some more examples you can take up, like polymerization of ethylene using titanium chloride and trialkyl aluminium as a catalyst, forming polythene by the Ziegler method, right? Then even cracking of the hydrocarbons in the presence of hydrogen by the zeolite catalyst. Then even the hydrogenation of oils by hydrogen in the presence of finely divided platinum or palladium. Then even your oxidation of carbon monoxide in the automobile, the exhaust by the platinum catalyst. So these are some of the examples of your heterogeneous catalysis. Now finally we are going to understand what is actually the difference between homogeneous and your heterogeneous catalysis. Okay. This could be your homogeneous catalysis, and this is your heterogeneous catalysis. Okay, so let us understand what is the point of difference between homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysis. So the first point could be, like in homogeneous catalysis, the catalyst and the reactants, they are always in the single phase. Okay, the catalyst and reactants, they are in the single phase, but over here in heterogeneous catalysis they are in the different phases. Clear? Then the second point of difference, the reaction, it occurs in the liquid or in the gaseous phase in the homogeneous catalysis. For homogeneous catalysis, reaction occurs in liquid or gas phase, whereas reaction does not occur in the liquid or gas phase, but it occurs on the surface of the solid catalyst over here in the heterogeneous catalysis. So reaction does not occur in gas or liquid phase, but occurs on the surface of the solid catalyst. Clear? Then let's talk about the third point of difference. The rate of reaction does not depend on the surface area of the catalyst in the homogeneous catalysis. So the rate of reaction does not depend on the surface area of the catalyst. Clear? Whereas over here the rate of reaction is proportional. Okay, it is proportional to the surface area over here, right, of the catalyst. Then fourth point of difference, the catalyst over here, it dissolves into the gaseous phase or in the solution, right? Whereas the heterogeneous catalyst, the catalyst does not dissolve in the reacting mixture, right? The catalyst dissolves into the gas phase or the solution, right, in the reacting mixture. Whereas over here, I should mention it 1, 2, 3, this is the fourth one, right? So the catalyst does not dissolve in the reacting mixture. Then fifth point of difference, the homogeneous catalyst, they cannot be easily separated from the products of the reaction. They cannot be separated, right, from the products of reaction. Whereas what do we know about the heterogeneous catalysts? They can be easily separated from the product mixture. Okay, can be easily obtained, right? They can be easily separated from the product mixture. Okay, so this part is also clear, that they cannot be separated from the products of reaction. They can easily be separated from the product of the reaction. And one more point of difference, the homogeneously catalyzed reactions, they often are little faster, means greater collision takes place over here, right? Greater collision takes place, right? Therefore, the reaction is little faster. Whereas what do we know about heterogeneous catalysts? They are often slow even from the homogeneous catalysts. Okay, so I write over here, they are often slower than the homogeneous catalysts. Okay, so these were some of the point of difference between your homogeneous and your heterogeneous catalysts. So even if you are asked to write down something about homogeneous catalysts, all points are over here, or heterogeneous all here, or the difference you can write it down like this. So I stop over here. We shall continue with catalysis in the next video also. Thank you.